Okay everyone, so this is the last story called Fancy Nancy Camp Fancy. So I'm gonna read it for myself when I finish, okay? Okay, here we go. Disney Junior Fancy Nancy Camp Fancy. Usually I adore Saturdays, but today I am toy bored. I helped Dad clean out the garage and soon find an old tent. Dad says he and Mom used to go camping all the time. The camping trip sounds spectacular. Can we go camping now? I asked Dad. There may be a campsite close by, Dad says. How perfect, I say. That's French for perfect. Dad leads me to the campsite, our backyard. But aren't we going camping in the wilderness, I ask? We'll still have a blast, Dad says. Besides, one of the first rules of camping is to make the best of what you have. Now come on, camper. That is right. I'm 100% positive we can make this camping trip extra fancy. Mom and Jojo are excited about our backyard campout. We get to work setting up the campsite. I help Dad put up the tent, but it's difficult. That's French for very hard. Finally, the tent is up. Great work, Nancy, Dad says. Now, let's light the campfire. We can make s'mores. Mom goes to light the campfire when ping ting. It starts to rain. Jojo giggles as she uses one of the cups to catch the raindrops. No, Jojo, I say. This isn't good. Everything is getting soaking wet. It's okay, Nancy, Dad says. Now come on, everyone, to the tent. Make room, girls, Mom says as we crowd inside. Dad turns on the lantern and the tent illuminates. That's fancy for lights up. Sacre bleu, oh no, I say. Our campout is more than wrecked, it's ruined. Hey, a little rain won't stop us from having fun, Dad says. Let's just make the best of it. Dad starts to make shadow puppets using our lantern. He makes a bunny with his 2 fingers. Oh, I've got one, I say. I use my hands to make a papillon. That's French for butterfly. See, Dad says, a little rain can't stop our campout. But then, splat. A raindrop hits my nose, then another and another. Oh, beans, Dad says. The tent is leaking. Let me see what I can do. Dad tries to fix the leak, but the entire tent falls down. Let's make the best of it in a house, Dad says. We race out of the tent for home. We dry off inside, but I can't help feeling upset. No stars, no campfire, no tent. Our campout is a fiasco, I say. That's fancy for everything has gone wrong. Mom takes out some marshmallows. We can still have s'mores, she says. But the wind howls. The lights flicker. Then they shut off completely, black out. The storm knocked out the power. Mom explains, but at least we're safe inside. Plip, plip, bloop. Water is dripping from the ceiling. The roof sprung a leak too. Dad sighs. Jojo and I hold the flashlights as Mom and Dad set out pots to catch the water. I feel really bad for Dad. He just wanted everyone to have fun. I tell Jojo, then I see Dad's shadow on the wall and get an idea. I know how we can save this campout. A little later, I call from the den. Mom, Dad, come to our campout. S'il vous plaît. That's French for please. Oh, Nancy, I heard Dad say. I'm afraid the campout's over. But Mom and Dad freeze when they see how Jojo and I turn the den into a campsite extraordinary. we set out a green towel for grass and hung a blanket over the couch for the tent. There's even a campfire. Mom gushes as she admires pieces of orange paper in the campfire pit we made. Time for stargazing, everyone, I called out. Everyone sits around the campfire. I tell them to turn off their flashlights, then I put a spaghetti strainer on top of Dad's lantern. Now there are tons of little white dots on the ceiling. Ta-da! A very one Milky Way, I shout. Amazing, Dad says. Everyone looks up at the ceiling. The stars have everyone mesmerized. That's fancy for when you can take your eyes off something. I see the Big Dipper, says Jojo. Then I hand out marshmallows, chocolate, and graham crackers. Everyone makes s'mores. Bon appetit, I say. Then the lights flick on, the power is back. Aww, we all say. Dad smiles and turns the light back off. Our camp out continues. We all munch on s'mores and continue to gaze out the stars. Dad says, I'm proud of you, Nancy Pants. We really made the best of it. The end! And so everyone, what do you think? Wow, Merida, I love Fancy Nancy. Yeah, I love this story. Thank you, everyone. You're welcome. I'm glad you like it, girls, and especially Rojo. Yes. Okay. Oh, I think the sunset is going down. So we probably have to go home right now. Oh, okay. Is it time? It sure is, Rojo. So we've already finished Disney Junior Fancy Nancy 5-minute stories includes 12 fancy stories. Okay? So let me take this book in his backpack. So he might have to take it back to the library. Okay. Okay, everyone. So let me take this book to his backpack. Okay, girls, and especially Rojo. So I'll be right back in a second because I have to tell the other girls. Okay, Merida. Okay, I'll be right back. BRB. Hey, Allie, is everything okay? Yes. So I'm going to be reading about A Bad Case of Stripes by David Shannon before we leave. Oh, okay. So are you telling the story about Allie? Sure, Merida. Yeah. So she's gonna be reading A Bad Case of Stripes by David Shannon. Oh, okay. But make sure I be back. Okay, Merida. All right. Okay, make sure I be back. All right. Okay, everyone. So they can be right back. So they're gonna be reading A Bad Case of Stripes by David Shannon. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, everyone. So let's go home right now. Okay. Okay. Okay, everyone. So I already did it from my memory because I just covered for stripes. I just covered in rainbow. So my mom put me to the bed so I cannot go into school today. And Nurse Rosie gave me an ointment. And then the bad guys starting to laugh at me at school. And they call me Allie Cream and Night of the Living Lollipop. And then there's 4 people with Lollipsy girls named Star, Peanut, Bee, and Amber. And 2 girls is Crumbs and Miss Misty. And Environmental Scarlet and the Old Toffee, okay? Okay. Alrighty, so I'm going to be reading A Bad Case of Stripes by David Shannon. It has the colorful rainbows, red, yellow, green, blue, orange, and purple. Okay? Okay, Allie, tell us a story. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm going to be reading, so let's begin, okay? Okay. Alrighty. A Bad Case of Stripes. A Bad Case of Stripes by David Shannon. Okay, this is a story about Camilla. Okay, here we go. Camilla Cream loved lima beans, but she never ate them. All of her friends hated lima beans, and she wanted to fit in. Camilla was always worried about what other people thought of her. Today, she was fretting even more than usual. It was the first day of school, and she couldn't decide what to wear. There were so many people to impress. She tried on 42 outfits, but none seemed quite right. She put on a pretty red dress and looked in a mirror. Then she screamed. Her mother ran into the room and she screamed too. "Oh my heavens!" she cried. "You're completely covered with stripes!" This was certainly true. Camilla was striped from head to toe. She looked like a rainbow. Mrs. Cream felt Camilla's forehead. "Do you feel all right?" she asked. "I feel fine," Camilla answered. "But just look at me." "You get back in bed this instant," her mother ordered. "You're not going to school today." Camilla was relieved. She didn't want to miss the first day of school, but she was afraid of what the other kids would say, and she had no idea what to wear with those crazy stripes. Okay, everyone, so I already read for a bad case of stripes. So this is Camilla Cream because she's got covered in stripes. She looked like a rainbow. And she has a cup and a straw like a medicine on it, and there's a thermometer on her mouth. And so, why she cannot go to school today, Louisa? Because she can't go to school looking like this because she's got covered in stripes. That's right, Louisa. So, she cannot go to school what to wear like this because she's got covered in stripes because she needs to stay in bed. But why does she stay in bed? Because she cannot go into school today because she was sick and she's got covered in crazy stripes. That's right, Janine. So she cannot go into school today because she needs to stay home. Okay? Okay, so let me turn the page and see what happens. That afternoon, Dr. Bumble came to examine Camilla. "Most extraordinary," he exclaimed. "I've never seen anything like it. Are you having any coughing, sneezing, runny nose, aches, pains, chills, hot flashes, dizziness, drowsiness, shortness of breath, or uncontrollable twitching?" "No," Camilla told him. "I feel fine." "Well then," Dr. Bumble said, turning to Mrs. Cream, "I don't see any reason why she shouldn't go to school tomorrow. Here's some ointment that should help clear up those stripes in a few days. If it doesn't, you know where to reach me." And off he went. Wow, Allie, is that Dr. Bumble came to examine Camilla? Yes. And he already asked her if she has coughing, sneezing, aches, pains, chills, runny nose, hot flashes, drowsiness, dizziness, shortness of breath, or even uncontrollable twitching, and she said no, she's feeling fine. And he doesn't see any reason she can't go to school tomorrow, and he has an ointment. It should help clear up the stripes in a few thousand days. Few thousand days? Yeah, Kim, few thousand days. So, if ointment doesn't work, she didn't know to reach him. So that's why she can stay home without going to school looking like this. Oh, okay. Okay, so let me turn to the page. The next day was a disaster. Everyone at school laughed at Camilla. They called her Camilla Crayon and Night of the Living Lollipop. She tried her best to act as if everything were normal. But when the class said the Pledge of Allegiance, her stripes turned red, white, and blue, and she broke out in stars. She broke out in two flags? Yes, Isabella. Look at Camilla. She's got covered in flags while they're doing the Pledge of Allegiance. So, we're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance, okay? Oh, okay, Allie. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good job, everyone. Thank you for doing the Pledge of Allegiance with me. You're welcome, Allie. Okay, so let me turn the page. It looks like a 4th of July. Okay. The other kids thought this was great. One yelled out, "Let's see some purple polka dots!" Sure enough, Camilla turned all purple polka dotty. Someone else shouted, "Checkerboard!" and a pattern of squares covered her skin. Soon, everyone was calling out different shapes and colors, and poor Camilla was changing faster than you can change channels on a TV. Why does she have purple polka dots? Because it has a purple polka dots like Camilla, and he called her that. And he just called her a checkerboard. There's a pattern of squares on her arm. So, do you think this is funny?
No.
No, it's not nice to laugh at her. You see, they cannot laugh at her because she's got covered in shapes and colors like a stripes may be contagious. Right? Yes. Okay, so let me turn the page.